Just waiting for the people to hop in. Oh, that mint is amazing, bro. Ooh. I can't ever leave Thailand without bringing one of these with me. It is magnificent. So good, bro. I need another hit. Oh, eucalyptus. Perfect. What's up, guys? What's up, Sigma, Junior, Odin, Says Yay, Ailson, Carson, and Shifty Houdini. What's up, guys? Yeah, it's not going to be a long stream today. I'm in my hotel room in Vietnam right now. I haven't shaved in like 2 days. Ugh, it looks so bad because I couldn't bring my razor blade with me onto the plane, and I didn't buy another one here. I'm not going to use the one they gave me in the hotel. It's like old and shit, and just, you got to treat your face with some respect. You can't be just putting any kind of blade to your face. So I'm like, whatever. I'll shave when I go back home tomorrow. Yeah, boy. Yeah, man. Vietnam is awesome, dude. Vietnam is absolutely amazing. It is. I'm gonna keep coming back here. Like, there is still so much to do. Da Nang is a really cool place to see. It really is. This is an amazing beach city. I mean, it's developing literally by the day. They're building massive like buildings. I'm talking like 40-floor buildings. And yeah, bro, it is awesome. There's so many activities to do that I haven't done yet. I didn't go to the Golden Hand Bridge. I didn't go parasailing, or sorry, I didn't go, is it parasailing or paragliding? One of the ones like where you go on the back of a boat and you're wearing a parachute behind you. And when the boat moves forward, you go up above the water. So you're pretty much flying as the boat pulls you. And that's awesome. I haven't done that yet. So got to come back to Vietnam for that. Yeah, bro. KT Pixel. Yes, Vietnam is a great vacation spot. It is so friggin' cheap here, man. Like crazy cheap. Like, it's ridiculous. I mean, I thought Thailand was cheap, and then you come to Vietnam and you're like, oh my God, this is like you have a meal, it costs you $1 maybe. You want to take a taxi or like a Grab somewhere, it costs you maybe like 70 cents to get around. Like, me and a friend today, we had some drinks, and we each had two, and in total, like our bill was like the two drinks that I paid for was 170,000 dong, which is around $6.50 for two drinks. Yeah, tequila sunrise. It was fantastic. It's awesome, bro. I would highly recommend coming to Vietnam. What do you think of the protests in Turkey? There's protests happening in Turkey? I didn't even know that. Yeah. I haven't really been reading the news nearly as much like in the last few months, I would say. Probably like in the last few months. I've been reading more so like the things I'm interested in now is historical stories, if anything. Like, there are so many bad things happening in the world all the time, it's never ending. Like, one stops and then three more begin. And it's just a constant wave of negative energy that I think I've outgrown. Yeah. So the focus is now on traveling, seeing the world, seeing the amazing people on this planet, and it's awesome. It's great. I think the best, I mean, like when I got here, the first thing I wanted to do was I wanted to go see the beach where the Americans first landed, and I went there. I rented a motorcycle and I immediately drove out there. And this beach is very beautiful, like an absolutely gorgeous beach. I was the only one there, surprisingly, and I explored a little bit. You guys will see that on my traveling channel video. And then after that, there's a mountain in the distance, and I'm like, I'm gonna go climb that mountain. And I get to the top of it, and at the very top of the mountain was a Viet Cong army base where they strategically set it up in a place where they could see the beach the Americans landed at, where they put their headquarters in. And there was another beach that was on the other side of the bay, which they also had a full sight of. They also had this barracks, like a sniper tower with holes in it, and they would constantly shoot at the Americans who were just resting or getting medical treatment or just, you know, going about their day on their headquarters, and they would just be constantly under fire. So I know the reason, you know, Americans didn't win the war was because, you know, the Vietnamese had far more strategic battle plans. And after 20 years, it became a huge war of attrition. So the Americans had no choice but to retreat. Also, I never really knew the extent that Muhammad Ali played in turning around the narrative when it came to war. Because, you know, in 1967, when he was, I believe, 26 years old, so he was just, you know, like he was already like one of the best boxers ever. And at 26, when he refused to enter into the draft because, you know, he was saying, oh, the Vietnamese never did anything bad to me, but my own country treats me bad because of my race. So when he was talking about that, of course, in the 1960s, racism was still a very big issue in America. And when someone of Muhammad Ali's stature, like someone who was the people's champ, everybody loved him and everyone respected him. When someone of that high profile came out against the war and saying he's not going to do it because the Vietnamese never did anything bad to him personally, that resonated with a lot of Americans, including somebody named Martin Luther King, who had a big following already, but after that happened, his following absolutely skyrocketed. And, you know, his rallies and his speeches were drawing in even bigger and bigger crowds. The U.S. government did strip Muhammad Ali of his boxing license, so he never fought from ages 26 to 30. He didn't fight in his prime years, but he's still considered like the best of all time. But him standing up against the war, also at a time when the Americans had already been there for 10 plus years, it really shifted the public narrative, and the American public stopped supporting the war. They were like, dude, like, why are we still there? Like, bring our troops back. And that, like the butterfly effects from all of those and a few other things, like the Tet Offensive that the Americans lost tremendously, which also shifted American public's views on the war. You know, Lyndon B. Johnson actually had to apologize, and, you know, there was a few other things that President Lyndon B. Johnson fucked up really badly. And essentially from that, the Jim Crow laws that were in place for decades got eliminated. And the American government was just taking L after L because they were fighting a war which they weren't going to win. And then the Jim Crow laws that had been defended for so long by the governments was all of a sudden, you know, the public was no longer in support of them. The public was now in support of more social justice and, bringing equality among the races. And the president had to come out and apologize for a lot of things. So the American government really got hit hard with that. And I mean, the Vietnam War was such a failure on their end because, for so many years, I mean, back when they first came into Vietnam in the 1950s, there was no social media. Like, color TV wasn't even a thing yet back then. And even in the 1960s, there was no color TV. So you only really got one side of the news, and that's what the media, that's what the government and the TV stations wanted to show you. But when the Tet Offensive happened, and a lot of media people were already here in Vietnam, they filmed, innocent people getting gunned down in the streets, houses burning, and the American people, for the first time in 1968, saw that with their very own eyes. And they realized the government had been lying to them about winning this war. They realized they weren't winning this war. They were actually, getting picked apart day by day by the very smart fighting Viet Cong. And it was such a failure. I mean, it was just, I could go on and on about how big of a failure the Vietnam War was for the Americans. It was so disastrously bad for the American governments. And they should never been here in the first place, but of course they had to stop communism from spreading. Yeah. This is my second time in Vietnam, actually. Yeah, I went to Hanoi before. I went to Sapa, Ha Long Bay. Those are really cool places. I'm in Da Nang this time. Yeah. I still got to go to Ho Chi Minh City, to formerly known as Saigon. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Risa, the 28th is approaching. Yeah. You guys see my Invisalign? Look how visible that is. Getting my teeth realigned so I can get veneers properly done. Yeah, boy. D's nuts. That name always makes me laugh. Oh, your house burned down. I'm sorry to hear that, Samantha. And, oh, wow, well, I'm happy to hear that you've been finding solace from watching my videos, and it's hopefully bringing you smiles. And I hope everything gets in order. Bro, you guys gotta, I mean, it's probably gonna be posted in the next few weeks here, but the traveling videos I made in Vietnam, where I go explore all the military, like all the old military bases, the American beach that they landed on. You guys gotta check it out because it's actually pretty cool. I had a great time making it. A very cool time. There's a lot of history here. Oh, weed is very heavily illegal in Vietnam. Very heavily. My favorite food in Vietnam so far. I got a soft spot for banh mi. Banh mi is just fantastic. Although it was inspired by the French colonial rule that existed here, which actually caused the Vietnam War to start before the Americans even came in. Yeah. Yeah, because it's like, I mean, that baguette, it's not Vietnamese by any means. It's completely French. Iron Maiden does rock, brother. That it does, Joe. No, I don't watch anime. I don't know who... I don't even... What? KT Gogo? What is that? I don't know what that is, brother. Any bad experiences so far in Vietnam? Interestingly enough, in the last 3 days I've been here, there have been more scam attempts on me than anywhere else I've traveled to. That includes India. So I don't know what it is. It's just, they see a tall white guy walking, they just see a bag of money. I bought this. Here, let me show you guys something. Here, 1 second. So in that army base I was talking about, where the old Viet Cong sniper base was, of course now it's a giant tourist area. There's a lot of people selling a lot of shit there, and I'm riding on my motorcycle, and it's very hot here in Da Nang, like to the point where the rubber off the bottom of my shoes is melting. It's really crazy hot here. So you want to park in the shade when you can, because the seat gets so hot and your ass absolutely burns. And you don't want to park in the sun. So I'm driving up there, and right away, one of the sellers is like, "Oh, park in here into my shop under the shade." I'm like, "Okay." And of course, I know they're gonna want me to buy something. I bought a few waters, but of course that wasn't enough for them. They're like, "Oh, you gotta buy more. You gotta buy more." And then more sellers started to come to me trying to get me to buy shit from them, of course. And uh, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy something, like may as well. I had the camera on the whole time, so I got the whole thing on video as well. It's also gonna make good content. And I saw a bracelet. I'm like, whatever, I'll buy this bracelet. Cool. When I asked her how much for this, she wanted 1 million dong, which is about $40 or $39. Let's just round up and say 40. She wanted $40 for this bracelet, and she was dead serious about it. I'm like, hell no. Like, I'm not giving you $40 for this. Are you kidding me? And I'm like, what's the best price you can give me? She's like, oh, 1 million. I'm like, okay, like, we're done here. I'm not going to buy it. As I'm walking away, she's like, okay, I do 800,000 for you. I'm like, nah. Okay, 700,000. I'm like, nah. 500,000. Nah. And she dropped her price all the way down to 100,000 dong. Literally 10% of what she asked for, because she's still making a profit, because this is just like wooden beads with a string on it. That's literally all it is. Like, there's nothing special about it. 100,000 dong is like $3, which is still kind of a ripoff for this, even by American prices. But I'm like, oh, okay, whatever, I'll buy it. Fine. He's like, okay, you buy two. I'm like, no, I'm gonna buy one. Like, they just would not let me off the hook. And that was only one of the times that they tried to scam me. And at the end of my, I explored that entire area. Then when I'm going back to my motorcycle, there were some French tourists that came on a bus, and they were exploring the shops too. And I just kind of wanted to see how the salespeople would treat the French people, like the French tourists that had just arrived. Sure enough, there was this girl who was interested in buying, I think, like earrings they had there. And she's negotiating with the salesperson, and she's talking French, and I can understand a bit of French. She's like, how much? And she told her, again, 1 million dong for like just, the cheapest of earrings. And, fortunately the French girl, she wasn't stupid. And she's like, oh, madame, no, 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 no. Much too much money, much too much money. I'm like, oh, man. So yeah, she couldn't, and I was watching that entire interaction happen. I was laughing because it just happened to me earlier, and then the French girl and the salesperson saw me laughing, and when she saw me laughing, the French girl walked away. Then the salesperson was mad at me. She's like, "You go, 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 go." I'm like, "I'm just standing here. Like, why? Like, go, go, get, go, go, go." Like, because she was mad I got rid of her customer, but I'm like, she wasn't gonna buy anything from you, man. Damn. So I mean, not even in India. I mean, yeah, there was a good amount of scammers in India, but I don't know what it is. It's just, yeah, like, actually a really cool old lady. I was driving yesterday from Hoi An back to Da Nang, and I stopped to buy some water from this shop I saw like just on the road, and she didn't speak any English, but she spoke Vietnamese. So like we're talking through Google Translate. Like I'm talking English, it's talking out in Vietnamese and vice versa. And one of the things she said in that conversation was, you got to be careful. There's a lot of people here trying to take advantage of you. And, she was very kind to say that. She was looking out for me. And, she didn't speak a lick of English, like not even hello. So, like, she was saying, hey, be careful. There's people here trying to scam you. I got scammed for water as well from somebody else. So the lady there gave me a fair price, which I'm very happy about. Like, and I expect it. Like, it's just a very unfortunate downside when you travel as a white man. This is actually a very real thing. When you travel, or I guess also like, yeah, as a white man, it's a very real thing because people always overcharge you. Yeah. Like, and it's just something you got to accept sometimes. It happens. And you just got to make sure you don't get overcharged too much. Like, another person, when I was buying water, again, I was driving, I stopped on a road to buy some water. I asked her how much for a bottle of water. She told me 3,000 dong. I'm like, okay, I'll buy 5. 15,000 dong. That's not even $1. I'll buy 5 water bottles. Great. I take the 5 water bottles, put it in a bag. I give her a 50,000 bill. So, and she takes it and pockets it and says, okay, thank you, bye. I'm like, the fuck you doing? Like, no, like you said it was 3,000. I'm buying 5. That's 15,000. It's not 50,000. And, she's trying to explain to me how the price actually is. I'm like, you said 3,000 before. Now you're changing the prices. I'm like, okay, I left 2 of the water bottles there. I'm like, give me the money back. And she did. And then I'm like, you know what? I don't want any of your water. Then I left all the water bottles and I'm walking away. And she comes back and says, okay, 30,000. So I paid double the price for the water. Because I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, it's like now it's just a little over $1. I'm like, that's cool. But like, just something in your gut and in your heart just aches when you get scammed in any kind of way. And even if it's for like a few cents or $1, I'm like, nah, like, because it just feels so scummy. But it's just something you got to learn to live with, and something I've had to learn to live with, to be honest. Because I'm like, you told me the price was something, and now you're increasing it. I'm calling you out on it, and you're trying to make excuses, which is like, don't do that, bro. I didn't tell you all the scammers and the good people too. Like, there are far, far more good people than scammers here. Far more. But yeah, it's just, they don't really get recognition too much because people aren't really interested in hearing about, the 99% of people who are just, very good and normal. They want to hear about the 1% that are negative outliers. Yeah. So, yes. The biggest scam I ever encountered. That's a good question. I guess well, I guess the biggest one I've ever been told is go to school, go to college, get a degree, get a job, get a house. That was the biggest one by far. But I guess in terms of traveling, Mumbai probably. I actually have the full video posted on my traveling channel. I went to this laundry place, which is like where many of the hotels and businesses bring their laundry sheets and pillows to get the laundry done. It's been there for like 3 or 4 generations, this place. And I'm walking up there with my camera. Of course, they see me walking. They're like, hello, sir, come, we give you a tour. I'm like, okay, I'll give them some money at the end. And like the guy, he had like his arm was kind of like broken at the elbow. So like see how my arm is like this? The guy could literally lift his arm backwards, like just like a really weird angle. I can't even do it now, but like his arm lifted in ways that normal arms really wouldn't. But he gave me a tour. They were very nice, very friendly. I'm like, okay, this is going good. After about 45 minutes, I take out some money. I forget how much. I think I gave him. I forget how much it was exactly, but I think I gave him like $10 or something like that. It was in Indian rupees. I think I gave him 500 rupees. Yeah, that's how much. And yeah, it was 500 rupees. I give it to him. I'm like, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And he doesn't even, without moving a muscle, he looks at me, sir, minimum is 2,000. I'm like you never told me a price before. Now you're saying minimum was 2,000. Like I knew I was gonna have to pay you something, but you want 4 times what I'm giving you. And I mean, that's not cool, right? And then we start talking, and I'm like, I'm not gonna give you 2,000 rupees. No way. And as this is happening, there is more people from the laundry approaching, like right behind him, walking up behind him, trying to kind of intimidate me, but good luck with that. And we kind of got into an argument on the street because he's like, "No, sir, the money's not for me. It's for the society that people who employs people." Like just telling me like all kinds of bullshit. And we argued for a few minutes, and then of course I didn't pay him anything more. And I'm like, bro, like this entire experience was great, and you just had to fucking ruin it by trying to scam me. I mean, you did a great job. I was happy. You were happy. I'm offering you money which you never asked for. I'm offering you, I mean, more than I should probably be giving you, which is 500 rupees. And he's like, "Oh, sir, minimum 2,000." And yeah, so like I think that was probably the biggest one, which really isn't all that bad. Yeah, I've been scammed before by my credit card companies. Fuck them. Yeah, but hey, it happens. Again, it is what it is. Like it's just when you're a foreigner and you travel to places, especially if you're a white guy, you're gonna get a lot of scam attempts happening to you. That's just how it goes. Have I almost fallen for a scam before? Well, when my channel got hacked, I fell for that one. Yeah. Your sister was nonstop grabbed and groped in India. That's sad to hear, man. Yeah, honestly, it's just I did notice there are very, very few Indian women or girls walking on the streets in Mumbai. At least like they aren't walking alone, which was, sad to see because that's just how it is over there. It's a different world. Yeah. What's the worst pain I ever experienced? Oh, the cramp in my inner thigh. Yeah, that woke me up and like was just a 12 out of 10 pain for 15 minutes straight. That was the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. That was unlike I've broken bones before, and this was far worse than that. Like it was just never ending. It was like my leg was being ripped apart from the inside, and it just did not even end for a second. Like it was just 15 minutes of sheer agony. That was so bad, bro. Oh, that was so bad. Oy. So now, actually what my number one tip is when it comes to traveling? Stay hydrated. Yeah, drink a lot of water. I'm actually really happy. I came here for 3 days and I filmed 3 long-form traveling videos. So, yeah, overall success. I mean, on the professional side of things too. And I had a lot of fun here as well. Yeah. It's my pleasure, Hellcat. I got a few places to go to that are planned. The worst thing that happened to me in every country I've traveled to, that's a very long question, bro. Very long question. Be more specific, please. Yeah, go to Turkey, bro. Turkey is great. You know, one thing I learned, I mean, I guess I learned about life from traveling. It's that 99% of the stuff I heard about the world is not real. It's not true. And, you know, when you travel and you meet people and you experience new things, I don't mean going to resorts. Like, I hate resorts because I think it's very pointless to go from one city into another and then lock yourself into a hotel or a resort and think you're having a good experience when you're, I mean, you probably are. It's a fun time, but it's just partying and, you know, attending watered down cultural events when if you probably travel 15 minutes outside that resort, you're going to see a whole different world than anything you've seen. So I don't like resorts for that reason. And meeting people, I mean, even in India, man, I mean, 99% of the people I met in India were absolutely awesome. They were so friendly, so genuine, so kind. Like they would be stopping their cars to come and shake my hand and say, "Hello, welcome to India. Good to see you. Good to have you here." Even the people in the slums, like they were offering me water when they didn't even have shoes. Like they were walking on rocks with their bare feet and offering a stranger, you know, who's walking through their neighborhood with a camera, a bottle of water. They didn't have to do that. And, you know, but that's just how most of it is. Like most of the experiences are absolutely great. The people you're going to meet when you travel, at least the people I met when I travel, have all been absolute gems. And I'm very happy to have met them. But, you know, the outliers you hear about, especially the negative ones, are the ones you hear about on the internet and the news. You know, that's why India has this reputation of being, you know, oh, if you go to India, everyone's going to try to scam you. No. If you go to any country, there are gonna be people who try to scam you. Any country, that's gonna happen if you're a tourist. Happens in India as well. Doesn't mean it's all of them. It's not. I mean, stereotypes are based on a truth, but their current versions are like just completely miles long games of broken telephone. Yeah. Like people still think every girl in Thailand is a you know is a lady boy, which is I mean like it's crazy, bro. And people think oh there's bombs everywhere in Vietnam, you know, there's mines everywhere in Vietnam. Like my God. Have I gotten discriminated by an officer for my nationality? No, that's never happened. I've been stopped before in Thailand. One time, I wasn't wearing a helmet while riding my motorcycle because I had just gotten my hair transplant and I couldn't wear a helmet. And they wanted me to pay them 5,000 baht. I told them I didn't have it on me. Like, okay, you give us 4,000. I'm like, I don't have 4,000 either. Okay, you give us 2,000. I'm like, I don't have 2,000 either. And they just gave me like a ticket and I went off because that was kind of them, you know. Yeah, I'm like, that's probably the worst that's ever happened, which, I mean, technically I was breaking the law by not wearing a helmet. I mean, I couldn't wear one because I literally had surgery on my head. But I mean, see, again, that's not so bad, right? Like that just sounds like a normal thing that, okay, you get stopped, you know, pay the fine. I don't have the money on me. Okay, that's normal, right? Like, but I know you guys want to hear like the crazy, you know, oh, you got scammed by this guy. They tried to, you know, put handcuffs on you, tried to rob you, the police officers. That doesn't happen. At least it hasn't happened to me. Yeah. The most life-threatening experience I've ever experienced. I was in a cage with two massive tigers in Thailand. That was actually very scary. Yeah. Like, dude, I'd never seen tigers up close before. these things are massive, man. Tigers are so fucking huge. I'm like, oh my God, like if this thing just swipes at me, it's gonna break a bone. Like, you see them and you're like, "Ah." And we're in there, it's just me and one of the employees in this tiger sanctuary. And the only weapon the guy had on him was a stick. And, you know, I posted that video on my traveling channel as well. And there were some people saying, oh, the tigers are on drugs. I'm like, I've seen tigers on drugs. These tigers were not on drugs. They were not sedated at all. And yeah, I was shitting my pants, bro. What was your reaction when Carney won? Honestly, disbelief. I couldn't believe it. I was like, really? Like, really? Like, they were so far down in the polls for so long, and then they changed the leader, and they almost win a majority. I'm like, really? Like, the power of propaganda is this crazy and strong, huh? Like, you guys just forgot that you can't afford to buy food anymore because, you know, the anti-Trump rhetoric was so strong. And I'm like, man, honestly, but also I felt a sense of relief because it reinvigorated the belief in me and just kind of reinforced the belief that leaving Canada was the right choice because it is not the place I want to live right now. Yeah. So it's not my problem anymore, man. I mean, I'm Canadian. I'm a Canadian citizen. And I will always love Canada, the country of Canada. I really hate all forms of the Canadian governments. I think they are doing an absolutely horrible, horrible job at the municipal, federal, and provincial levels. It's just, it's really, really bad. But hey, I've learned a lot from Canada, from living there. I have a lot of Canadian friends still. My parents still live in Canada. My family, my siblings live in Canada. And Canada's a very beautiful country. It really is. I think the true beauty of Canada is seen when you get in a car with friends and you drive from one coast to the other. Because you're going to see views that are absolutely, like every few minutes, you're going to be just jaw on the floor, staring in awe from how beautiful nature really is. Because that's, I think, the true beauty of Canada. To be honest, and I said it before, it would benefit me personally if Canada joined America. It absolutely would, because I don't live there anymore. So as someone who's a citizen of the country living abroad, I'm like, great, I can go live in America now if I wanted to. Like, fantastic. And now we're safer and, you know, there'd be a lot more innovation happening. So it would actually benefit me personally. But of course, the Canadians don't want that because many of them think, oh, like, we don't want to be part of America. I'm like, dude, and I said this before, why the hell do we not have better rules when it comes to being partners, America and Canada? Like, look at the EU, right? They're all separate countries, but any EU citizen can go live in any other EU country. They can go live and work and go to school or do anything in any EU country. Australia and New Zealand, they have similar laws to that. Why don't we, as America and Canada, the biggest trading partners in the history of the world, why don't we have that also? That makes no sense. Like, it's so dumb. So, yeah. VO3, is that the new Google, the AI thing with the sound? I think that's crazy. I think that's, bro, AI is taking over. I use AI a lot now. I don't use Google nearly as much anymore. I use ChatGPT so much more. Yeah, I've been using AI to also help make my videos. I'm like, this is actually great. I'm like, it's fantastic. Why don't I live in Turkey instead? Because I currently live in the greatest country in the world, Thailand. And I don't want to leave Thailand, bro. Like, I want to keep living in Thailand and traveling from there because Thailand is just, it's so awesome, man. Like, it's so good. I have yet to meet a foreigner who visits Thailand who wants to go back home. Like, everybody wants to stay, they don't want to leave. It's fucking awesome. Easy, Aria. What's the best food in Thailand? I love tom yum soup. It's fucking awesome. Like, it is just, it's the perfect combination of flavors that just delect every single nanometer of your taste buds. What's the worst thing about Thailand? Honestly, I don't think there is one. At least, I don't think I have one. I've thought about this before. I don't think I have one. Like, every problem that every other country has, like, you know, traffic, for example, is one, but traffic exists everywhere. Yeah, traffic in Bangkok is pretty bad, but every big city has bad traffic. So that's not really, I think, like a legit bad thing. I mean, I can't think of one, man. Like, the weather is amazing year round. The people are so friendly and so welcoming, always smiling. It is insanely cheap. There are luxurious options, normal options, cheap options everywhere you go. Rent is ridiculously cheap. There is an endless amount of things to do. I mean, that's fantastic. Oh, there's a lot of people there who speak English, which is great. Like, not in like Vietnam, a lot of people here don't speak English. You go to Thailand, English is like, there's English text everywhere. You know, people at least can, like, even local Thais, most of them can speak basic English, which is great. I think the worst part about Thailand is once you go there and the veil lifts above your eyes, you're not going to be able to see the world the same again because you're going to want to go back to Thailand and you're not going to want to go back to your home country. You know, you're going to go back home and you're going to be like, why the fuck am I paying $35 for a sandwich? Like, what the fuck, bro? When if you pay 35 bucks, you know, in Thailand, I mean, you can probably you can eat off of $35 for a week in Thailand. I'm not even kidding when I say that. I don't mean going to the grocery store. I mean, you can eat from takeout places for $35 in a week. You can, it's easy to make that happen because meals cost $2 to $3. Yeah. If you hate LGBT, then what do you got to say about America and Canada? Like, LGBT is far more widespread in Canada and America than it is in Thailand. And it's not really, I mean, if you hate someone for their personal decisions, that's on you, bud. Yeah. That's a really dumb thing to hate somebody for, man. Best city in Thailand? Bangkok, bro. Krungthep Mahanakon. Number one. Like, I miss it right now. You know that? Like, I'm having such a great time here in Vietnam, but I miss Bangkok because I'm not there right now. Like, that's how awesome it is. Like, I spend per month, like, my expenses are probably $3,000. And I live a very good life, man. I'm always going out, always trying new things, always meeting up with friends, always going to activities. And like, money just goes so far in Thailand. It is crazy. You should absolutely go there. Yes, Gween. Absolutely, you should go there. Okay, we're gonna ban this dummy. Yeah, let's just get him out. He's seeking attack. I don't know how he's spamming that quickly. I got the slow-mo turned on. The next country I want to visit. I really want to go to China. Yeah, bro. I mean, everyone I know who's been to China loves it. So I really want to go to China. I got to get a Chinese visa, though. So, yeah. I mean, you know what I said earlier about big cities having traffic? Apparently in China, they don't have traffic. Think about what I just said. Like, I don't know. They have multiple cities with over 10 million people, but no traffic. How does that make sense? Because they built their infrastructure that well. And you can, like, a lot of, there are very few planes flying in Chinese airspace compared to America or Canada. That's because the majority of intra country traveling in the country happens via high-speed rail trains, which are more fuel efficient, can move people just, I mean, almost just as quickly as a plane can, and less expensive for the consumers, for the customers. That's amazing, man. Like, the rest of the world caught up to America and Canada. You know, we were in the 90s and the 2000s. We were the Western world was the crown jewel, and now it's not anymore. They got stagnant as the world evolved into the digital era, internet era. The world caught up. America and Canada lagged behind, bud. Yeah, I got to get going in the next 5 minutes, guys. I'm going to go meet some friends. I absolutely want to go to the Philippines soon. Yes, Philippines is awesome. I've never experienced any kind of racism in Thailand. I know in like Japan, that can happen sometimes. Like they're a lot more, but that, I mean, even if you're like half Japanese, they might not treat you as well. But in Thailand, that has never happened to me. And also like, I mean, yeah, racism is still a big problem in America and Canada too. So I wouldn't suggest comparing yourself to them. I have been to an Iron Maiden concert. It was awesome. Really good. What country has the nicest people? Thailand, bro. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate you, bruv. Okay, ask your final questions, please, guys. I'm gonna get going here soon. Please ask good questions so I can answer them. I gotta go to Japan myself too, bro. I've been to the airport 3 times in Tokyo, but never inside the country. I'm waiting for a good question to end the stream on, so please ask a good question, guys. Thank you, Music Browser 01. How long do you think you'll be doing YouTube Shorts? I don't plan on stopping, so yeah, there's that. What? Okay. Here's a good question to end on. Here we go. What is the most life-changing moment that will affect your future going forward? trusting in myself and not to the outside noise, to the people telling me I can't do something. Yeah, because look where it got me. I'm now living in Asia and having the time of my life, and it's fantastic. And I never would have been here if I had listened to the people who, were too scared to follow their dreams and to work towards what they wanted. And I'm like, I'm not going to be like that. And hey, it's worth it, man. We get one life. May as well make the most of it. I mean, just focusing on, negativity, trying to bring others down. It's just, I don't think it's not the best way to live your life, man. Life is so beautiful. There are so many fulfilling things. And I'm very grateful for the journey, and hopefully it continues. Yeah. All right, that's a good one to end on, guys. I am going to go, but it was great seeing you guys. It's been a while since I last streamed. And yeah, thanks for joining, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'm assuming most of you guys are back in America or Canada or somewhere it's not nighttime right now because it's 8 p.m. here. So congrats to Tottenham and congrats to Galatasaray. Let's go, baby. Anyway, have a great rest of your day, guys. Take care and stay safe, and stay smart. I'll see you guys later.